Hello, hi everyone. Hi Stella. So we will wait for a couple of minutes for everyone to join before we start. Um, Hello everyone once again. We are waiting for some more time before people could join in, and then we will start the session. I have my screen with the banner that we have presented in front of everyone. We will start the session once again in few minutes. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, based on wherever you are joining in from. Okay, so with that note, we are going to start, and I welcome you everyone in this webinar. Good afternoon, good morning, once again, and thank you so much for being here. We all know that the industry is noisy right now. Everyone is talking about AI, but very few of them are talking about how to deploy them safely into the high compliance environment like finance. My name is Mayank. I am leading the Agentic AI and automation initiatives in Auxiliobits, and I am joining by my colleague Debakar Ghosh, our Director of Strategic Partnership, who works directly with enterprises to translate this technology into immediate P&L impact. So we know your time is valuable, and that's why we have designed this session to be actionable. And we aren't here to talk about just theory. We are going to show you the deployed reality as well. Um, and here is our flight plan for next 45 minutes. We are going to start by defining, the AI mandate. This is the strategic backdrop, how balance the pressure of efficiency against the absolute need of control is something we will discuss. From there we will move to the technical heart of this session, the agentic claim automation approach, and we won't just talk about it, we will show you a demo so that you will watch the agent reason through the messy audit trail and audit documents in real time. Once we have proven technology, we will switch gears to the business case. We will walk you through with the fast ROI blueprint, specifically how you can go from pilot to production in just 6 weeks. And finally, we will wrap the session with question and answers and next steps if you have. With that note, I would like to hand over to Debakar to take us through with the session.
Thank you so much, Mank, and good morning to you all. Uh, Wonderful. Your time is gold, and we will make it worth it. Just wanted to make sure that the session is concise for you. Also, we will go at a pace that is comfortable for all the people who are joining us live today. We can. Couple of housekeeping for all of us. As you know, this is something that will keep in check in case you miss out on something. Just feel free to ask the question, query. We will also have one-on-one sessions later as you book the time slots with us. I will also encourage some of you to, as this is our last session for this year, we would like you to suggest some of the topics that you would like to see in the quarter one and quarter two of 2026, so that we can present more value to you as we go in the next year. We can move. Thank you, Mike. Can you move slide? Yep. Okay, here is the teaser. Can you guess who it is for and what are we talking about? You can, I'll give you 30, 40 seconds to write in your answer box or the chat box. Feel free to just write what you think. Who are we talking about? I can also give you a hint. He's a legend and he's one of those people who invented Lisp. If any of you is a history buff, he will know. So let's give it like 30, 40 seconds for everybody to answer.
I think it is still a mystery for most of us.
Okay, let's go to the next page. So he's the one who coined the word artificial intelligence. It's 70 years now, this December. And this is what we are going to talk today. And we have been talking about it for a while now. We can go to the next slide. Uh, our focus is straightforward. What we talk about is return on your investment with the minimum possible risk, and you can trust us during the process and with the delivery of the services that we are providing. This is all that needs to be assured from the Auxiliobits point of view when we are talking to you as a prospect or as a client. We can go to the next page. These are some of our partnerships that we work very closely with. Uh, while we have an agnostic approach, we have partnerships with an agreement saying the client always comes first. We do not have a cookie cutter approach, and we believe that every landscape and an opportunity provides us with certain circumstances which allow us to use certain tools and practices. And that is how we go ahead with that. Along with that, we are treading into a zone which is going to be, we can move to the next slide as well, Mayank. These are some of the services we provide. What I can assure you is the excellence, the accountability, and the wow experience that we provide while we take you through the journey. You can trust us, you can rely on us, and we will be with you throughout the way while we deliver. As we move into the next slide, that is going to be towards more technical side, I would give it back to Mayank to take it on from there. Mayank, over to you.
Great. Thank you, Dibakar. Um, Now that we understand the ecosystem, let's talk about the friction point where technology meets the PNL, and we call this the AI mandate versus the CFO anxiety. If you are a finance leader or managing finance related processes, you could be currently stuck in such wise. And on one side, you may have pressure to drive efficiency, scale operations without adding headcount. You are pushed to being told to modernize. But on the other hand, you will have modern fears, the black box anxiety. How did AI reach to that conclusion? The risk of hallucinations, approving fraud and expense spends, because the model got creative. The fear of loss of control, automated systems running wild without governance. So the question isn't should we use AI, it is how do we use it without breaking the compliance, and that is what we are going to talk about. Um, and we solve this by decoupling the reasoning engine from the governance layer. We don't just let any AI system loose on your ledger. We use three-tier architecture to de-risk the process. First is the deterministic guardrails. These are hard-coded constraints. If a compliance rule says no invoices over $500 should go without management approval, the AI cannot override it. It ensures 100% adherence to your business rules. Then we design the system in a way to handle the happy paths, the standard cases, but the complex exceptions and high value items are automatically routed to human validators, people who have better intelligence than an AI system. Also, we eliminate the black box. Every decision generates a log explaining why a transaction was approved or rejected. This makes AI fully, AI's logics fully auditable for your compliance team. So, what makes an agent different from standard script or technology? And I have been talking about agent from quite a while now. So here we will, talk about the differences of new AI systems which can help the finance organizations. So the traditional automation, that that only moves the data, but the agentic AI or agents or AI systems apply reasoning to it. So it is context aware, it is adaptive, it doesn't just scrape text or process text data from point A to point B. It understands it. It handles font, layout, unstructured data formats that would break by the traditional automation system. So essentially, we are moving from raw data extraction and processing to delivering decision ready data that requires minimum human intervention. And this is not just theoretical. We, in a recent deployment and in a use case, we have been handling unstructured documents that achieved over 90, around 65% of reduction in the manual work. This translated directly to around 400K, savings. And let me explain you how the technology achieves this, where the other fails. Many of you have likely tried OCR, the optical character recognition technology, or IDP technology, that is intelligent document processing, and found them frustrating. And then here is the technical reason why. So the legacy OCR is rigid. It is template bound. It relies on X and Y coordinates. If a vendor changes their invoice layouts or adds a logo that shifts the text down by 2 millimeters, the extraction fails. It lacks true understanding. Modern agentic AI is different. It is template free. It reads the document like a human does. It understands the total is total, whether whether it is at the bottom right or at the top left. It handles the blurry receipts, extra spaces, or lines without breaking. So it uses semantic understanding, not geometrical mapping. One of this example is that we have in production is for one of our client. It's their promotional staff gets corporate credit card that they can use on various events. They submit all of these claims for the client to pay, but before it goes to client, the financial analysts validate them. So what we did here is to implement a automation solution using the technology of robotic process automation. that does the heavy lifting, pulling up the report, navigating to ERP systems, finding the right expense sheets, and then passes all of this information to an agent system, an AI system that validates all of these evidences based on various business rules like validation of cost, vendor names, etc. Then let's look into the longitudinal data in this process. So you see the pre-automation cost in red bar. This was the 100% human effort costing around 800K annually. So by year one, that is the middle bar, the model and the technology learned and efficiently improved the processing. Cost is stabilized at around 300K, with net benefits rising up to 500K. So technically, we shifted the workload from 100% human to 90% robot. Only 10% human is being utilized here for the anomalies and exceptional cases that requires their intelligence. So on the on this side, you see three different realities. On the left side, is the manual process that is fully manual, expensive, prone to errors, and in the middle you see the traditional methods that could have been applied technically. So it's the OCR method where you see the step forward is a brittle solution. There are key failures that is still sends 80% of the document to human validation because it cannot handle real world variations. And by real world variation, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But it's the accuracy that degrades over the time because it's a constant maintenance burden for the users as well, both end users and the technical teams. On the other side, on the right side, you see the agentic approach. This is the game changer. Our agents or the AI systems don't just extract data, they understand it. The system automatically downloads the report, extracts the information, validates it and against the items, and then successfully approves 90% of the cases, like I mentioned, automatically. So only true anomalies, that is 10% of the cases that genuinely requires human expertise, are flagged for review. And then this is how we reclaimed the manual hours. So I've been talking about various invoices and documents, and this is some of the examples that I wanted to share with you. So if you see here, there are different complexities that we are handling. There are Uber receipts with, and then there are crumbled bar tabs. The receipts have additional information that it does not help anyway. The restaurant bill has written tips, dine-in markers, random formatting. And if you see, there are real life challenges. You see, there are receipts that have been torn out. There is no standard structure. The system looks for this information and it understands, that's a tip, that's a tax, and that's a grand total, regardless of where it sits on the page. So all these examples are from the actual use cases that are being handled in production, and I'm going to show you now a demo of how it actually works. So this is a technology where we have used the robotic process automation to do the heavy lifting, and there are AI agents which understands how these documents needs to be processed, and they also generate an audit trail which says why this particular item needs to be approved or rejected or requires manual processing. So the bot logs into the ERP system. It downloads various, expense reports, validate all of these items on the bot level, and then at its core, there is an agent. It audits all of the, documents that it receives. It could be anything. It could be a document, it could be a PDF, it could be a receipt, it could be invoice. So all the real life challenges that we may face around claim approval and expense processing. So it pulls out the document, reads it, checks it against the company policy. There could be n number of policy, right? For example, you have to book flights from a specific vendor only. You need to have vendor name available in the receipts. For example, if you are going to a restaurant, the tip cannot be more than 20%. So all these company policies are being checked by an AI agent. If it compiles, if it is, if it is as per the policies, then it approves it. If it violates any policy, it pushes it to rejections with the message. And if it is ambiguous, if the document is really not readable, then it passes all of those transactions for manual processing. So I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to play an audio video which will show you the demo of how the process works. So like the flow chart that you see is a step-by-step action that the bot is performing at each step, and we are going to see it now. So
Uh,
there is an ERP system. Yeah, sorry.
there is somebody who's Anand is asking some question, I think. You can.
Yeah, so we will answer all of the questions at the end of the session, so that we could save good time in discussions and answers. So at this moment, what we are showing is there are these the technology of RPA, as I was talking about. It identifies each steps and then tries to identify all the sections where it has to click, download reports, perform various Excel manipulations, because these are all real scenarios. We do not just start working on raw Excel files downloaded from certain portals. So it performs all of these steps, what it needs to do, what it needs to perform, and these are all our audit trails that are being generated at the backend so that the support team can look into it, see where exactly the bot is failing, what actions it is taking, and then finally, keep track of all the expenses that are being processed by the bot. So once it gets all of the reports downloaded from the reporting tools, it then again goes back to the ERP system. It starts validating all the expense sheets. So the bot takes up all the heavy lifting, going navigating to different sections, waiting for this application to respond, then searching for different references, and then finally auditing the um, evidences against the submission that has been made, so that we have all the details available. For example, in this particular case, it has downloaded the receipt, it has checked the line item, and I'll take a pause here to explain that the bot has extracted a receipt which was in a low quality. It has checked that there is a total item that needs to be approved, and then it has approved it with the statement that the amount in the receipt matches with the company policies, and it has extracted additional information as well, just in case we have to audit that what is the name of the vendor, what are the other unit details that have been mentioned in the receipt, so that we could use it later on. For example, here if you see, it is for the vendor BC Sports Ritz, which is exactly matching the name of the receipt. So like this, it keeps on processing all of the documents with the examples that I already showed you, and then continues approving, processing all of these expenses 24 cross 7. Again, this can be scheduled based on your requirements, but for certain use cases that we have been running, the bot runs 24 cross 7, and the human are only involved in the exceptional cases and and maintaining the audits. So it works. The human only works on the auditing sections of it. So in this case, once the bot processes everything, it sends a summary email, and that's it. So I'll take a pause here Sorry. And then I will talk about the next step. How do we, uh, implement this technology further? So what you saw there is a very powerful new capability that we have designed, and a straightforward path to your organization to adopt it. The goal is to deliver value quickly and improve the ROI at every step. The phase one of this process is to understand how your processes are, and then we take about a week to understand and then perform various discovery workshops. We try to identify the highest value automation candidates that defines a clear success matrix. Then we try to prove it. At this pillar, we take about 2 to 3 weeks to launch a high impact pilot project. We implement agentic AI or any other technology that needs to be integrated to deliver the right quality into the existing systems, and generate measurable results. Then the phase three or third pillar is to scale. We then, once the value is proven, we help you create a roadmap for an enterprise-wide rollout, ensuring continuous monitoring and enablement for your teams. Um, so this is how we scale it. Of course, the timeline gets adjusted based on the complexity of the use cases, but typically we take about this time to implement any agentic AI systems to your platforms. With that note, we have covered the risk, the architecture, and the results. Now we want to hear from you. There are a few questions, and we would like to answer them. So thank you so much for your time, and I will go through the question and try to answer them now. So there was a question, right, Dibakar?
Yeah, there was a gentleman who was Anand Singh wanted to ask something. Still, hand is still up. Anand, assuming you are
Oh,
wanting to
okay,
ask a question.
right. Yeah, Anand, I think you should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Anand.
Hi, Mayank Dibakar. Thank you for running us through the presentation. Uh, I have some quick questions regarding the entire process and the bot that you've shown. How well does the RPA AI work for invoices that have large number of items or product SKUs? Like in a manufacturing environment, you will have a lot of spare parts built by vendors, like a lot of SKU numbers coming in the invoices. How well does it work in identifying those line item descriptions where there are, say, 1,000 line items in one invoice?
Hmm. Right.
We have seen some
So,
small detailed bills that you've shown, but how does it go with
right.
a large number of items? Yeah.
Exactly. So we have gone till approximately 120 pages. So for the case of finances, the use cases that we have, so we have gone through the entire credit card statement that it spans up to 80 to 120 pages, and then there are different line items also mentioned over there. So it works pretty well. It tries to understand the context, and then based on that it generates the information. Yes, it takes time, longer than the shorter documents, one pagers, but it extracts the right context based on the right model that we integrate here.
Okay, fair enough. And when you say that it keeps approving documents 24 cross 7 and keep posting it, now this posting is
Hmm.
happening to ERP, am I right?
Yes.
Now this posting is happening directly or it goes in a park and post mode?
No, so it happens directly. In this particular use case, we had a validation step also. So there are line items that have been submitted by people. So the bot checks, cross check, what has been submitted by people and what have been what are the evidences around it. So it gets a, a reference information also that it needs to match. So based on this concept, it checks that, hey, for example, if I have submitted $200 restaurant bill, so it checks if it has to, approve it based on what I have submitted, and based on that, it approves it. So that way, it has a validation, information already available in the process. So it checks for it. If it matches, it approves it. If it doesn't matches around the number and the policy, it rejects it. If it could not find anything, then it goes to human for manually processing it.
Yeah, I understand that, Mayank, but in cases where the ticket items are of large value size, there lies a
Hmm.
potential risk of wrong payment
Exactly.
erroneously getting approved by the bot, and there can
Exactly.
be, $100,000 kind of impact or multiple hundred
Exactly.
thousand dollars impact on the bills or per ticket item, right? Now, how do
Hmm.
we ensure that we control that and we put that due diligence that manual intervention or the final posting is happening? Say the bot may approve all the bills and put it in a park mode for all such items which are of large value, which may have a significant impact on the organization if it goes wrong. And then they can be manually once checked before they are finally posted to the ERP, because post that the payment upload file will be generated and it will go to treasury for payment, right? So you saying the
Exactly.
final approval has already happened and it's approved. So how do we do that? How do we bring that due diligence?
So this is the classic example where we apply guardrails. They help us to, identify certain cases. So again, these are company policies. There are certain companies who give us free hand to approve something, within $500, and then that is something that the bot approves automatically, but anything beyond it needs to go to management approval. For example, there are certain use cases where there are, for example, in case of claim approvals, there are generally two or three level of approvals. First is employee manager approval, then the finance approval, then the audit approval. So we then design the bot in a way so that there is another audit step also available. Again, like I mentioned, there are company policies that we can just approve this much of amount, and anything beyond this needs to be approved by or validated by a human. If there are certain XYZ, you know, um, criterias or type of document that it then it needs to go to human for approvals, the bot cannot approve it. So we define all of these criticalities and, the type of documents or the type of amount that needs to be approved by human, and we, based on these policies and guardrails, the agents and the RPA decides.
You
And we
mentioned
can
that there is
also
a
have a one-on-one session, for a deeper discussion as well. We would enjoy this conversation for sure.
sure, Dibakar.
Great. I see another question around what's the product. I didn't get what client base it's meant for. So to answer this question, there could be different product that we can apply based on the problem statement. For example, I would like to focus on the partnership that we have, and again, there are additional partners that we have, and then we work on these to implement the right solution and right technology for the kind of problem statement that we receive. The particular use case that we showed is for a marketing client, but again, the process that we have shown is applied at each industry. In every industry, we approve or process claims. So this process is around claim approval. For all the expenses that we submit to HR for approval, this particular kind of process is which we have applied for financial team to approve something once the manager has approved their expenses. So we have already one set of validation, and then at the financial team side, the bot approves all of these information, and then it goes to auditing. I hope that answers your question. Great. I see that Anand, you also
Yeah,
have another question.
Yeah, just one question. Does it apply only on the travel and expense bills or also on the vendor invoices?
Yes, it applies on any document type for that matter. We just have to identify the type of document and then work around it. So we have been
And in
implementing this
cases of,
technology for.
understood that in cases of vendor
Mhm,
documents or vendor invoices, there will be a two-way,
mhm.
three-way matching also needs to be done. So will the,
Right,
as you mentioned, you were explaining the flow, you're saying it automatically fetches the information from ERP. So the PO, GRN or the rate contract may be there. So it can pull those documents, do a two-way, three-way matching, and then pass it through and put it in a park and post mode automatically.
exactly. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that answers. Thank you.
Great. And I see,
Interesting.
Ishwar, you also have a question. Let me.
You want to unmute Ishwar?
Yes. Yeah. So I think Ishwar, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I think it was a wonderful presentation. A
Thank you.
lot of good, great insights shared by both of you. uh, I have certain kind of, I mean, I would like to have more case studies on an environment where you have implemented in the segment of higher education, and specifically with reference to procurement, the
Hmm.
sourcing side, or I mean, in the process of selecting a vendor, how do we do the due diligence of the vendor, or to expand your supply chain network, or to develop a second tier or a third tier, or to have multiple tiers within the supply chain to have more reliable suppliers. Like, see what happened during pandemic was we were extensively relying on one sourcing point, or it could be China, for example. Uh, so how do we reduce the uh,
Over dependency.
dependability on a particular region or a particular sector, and to strengthen the entire supply chain? How can uh, Agentic AI really help us? Do you have any kind of implementations that you have done where you could really demonstrate or show the client that, yes, these kind of implementations can really secure the organization interest and as well as the business continuity?
Right.
So yes, I think Ishwar, because this is a particular set of group, we should have one-on-one on this one because it's more detailed. Procure to pay and procurement related, we have done quite a few projects on that, and we can share a few with you immediately after the event, and we can also set up a couple of one-on-ones with us, and this is a good time as well during this time of the year. Yeah, we can talk in detail on this.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to only request if we could have more number of case studies on the kind of implementation Auxiliobits has done, and
Mhm.
which are the relevant segments. Because just to give you a brief, I am a consultant. I'm based out here in Middle East, and
Mhm.
I see a lot of proliferation of companies coming in, stating that doing implementation on AI and all, but somehow they're not able to gain the confidence of the customer and give a lasting impact so that they adopt the technology.
Yeah, so that's a typicality because people have jumped into the AI bandwagon without knowing the depth, length, and breadth of the situation. And we try to be more conservative with what we speak and what we deliver. And that absolutely makes sense for us as well. What we will do is we will share with you some of the use cases. And as you refine your questions a little more for us, we'll be able to give you more value of your time. And we can set up 101, and that will allow all of us to have a candid conversation. That means we are more open on kind of clients, kind of situations, kind of activities that we can discuss more in detail That would be a wonderful conversation for us to have and would be of interest of that particular group for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sure. I think we are running a
Great.
little out of time. So if somebody wants to ask a
Yeah.
question, please let's make it very quick. Just raise your hands and we'll be good to answer that question. There are a few people who have booked a 101 session with us. And for anybody else we do not talk this year, I would like to, on behalf of Auxiliobits and myself and Mayank, want to wish you a happy new year in advance and happy holidays. Also, feel free
Happy
to
holidays.
visit our website because there is a lot of content you can really get from our website. Not just you will get certain case studies, certain things that we are doing, certain activities. You might want to engage with our website as well to get more in depth of what we are doing. And feel free to suggest the topics that you want to hear from us next year. Mang,
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I wish you a great day ahead, and wish you a great Happy New Year if we do not talk, again this year. Thank you, everyone.
thank you. Thank you.